We'll go up to Leon Ashby, I should say.
Okay, just getting back to the Citizens' Assembly, climate sceptics don't deny that there's climate change, but they do deny that carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases are the cause. Will the Citizens' Assembly address that question? Because, this is really the elephant in the corner of the room, and is it going to be ignored in the process?
Okay, I believe Leon is in the Climate Sceptics party and is standing as a candidate in the election, but that should be stated. Penny Wong.
Well, Leon, hello.
It's really quite a simple question. Will the Citizens' Assembly, as you envisage it, be addressed by climate sceptics?
I think we should have credible scientists in this debate, whether it's to the Citizens' Assembly or more generally. And one of the other things that Julia announced was a climate commission, which would include credible scientists to do, and others, to do two things. One is to talk about the science and also to talk about where international action is going, because I think it's important we track that.
And was that a yes or a no to climate sceptics addressing the People's Assembly?
If they're credible scientists.
Yeah, how do you define
well, I have to say, I don't... My personal view is that many of the people who have a range of theories on this are not always scientists with credibility in this field. But there may be some. I personally have no qualms at all about having a debate about the science, because my experience is if you take the time with most Australians to take them through the scientific evidence and the reasons why we need to act, most people get it.
Okay, Tom Switzer, quickly on that subject.
Well, I think, to answer your question, man-made global warming, the science of it, it's a bit like the Da Vinci Code. There's a grain of truth, but there's a mountain of nonsense. And the problem is the alarmists in this debate are totally incapable of understatement. Totally incapable of understatement. And we've seen that in the course of the whole climate gate scandal.
Your language is so neutral at the moment.
But my point, Tony, quite frankly, I concede that there has been some global warming. There's no question in the last quarter of the 20th century there was substantial warming, and there's no question that carbon emissions probably played a role in that. But it's more murky in the last 5 to 10 years. But my point is simply that the policy consensus is not there, and the global consensus is not there. And if you don't have a policy consensus or a global consensus, you might as well just adapt.
Graham Richardson wants to come in on that?
I'd like to say two things about this. I just listened to what Tom had to say, and he talked about mountain of nonsense. It'd be hard to jump over that one, pal. That's a shocker. But that having been said, I believe in a democracy. Everyone, including Tom or our question, has a right to be wrong. And I think it would be impossible to have a Citizens' Assembly of this kind without the alternate argument being put. It would be a joke. And I'm certain that the government, once it starts up its Citizens' Assembly, will recognise that, because to not do so would, to use the word mountain, I think, bring upon it a mountain of criticism from which it would not recover. So I think your arguments will get put. Hopefully they won't be accepted, but they will get put.
All right, let's move on.